Thank you so much for joining us here at the live desk. Behind this video here, it's Janae Hancock. Today is World Alzheimer's Day, a disease that is the leading cause of death and disability. So with all of that being said, I do want to turn straight to our guest here at the live desk today. Joining us is Priska Asaro with Alzheimer's Association. And I want to thank you so much, Priska, so much for joining me here at the live desk. How's it going for you today?
It's going great, Janae. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. This is a wonderful day because we want to make sure that folks are aware of Alzheimer's, the signs, the treatments, and all of the resources and support that the Alzheimer's Association, which is a nationwide organization, can provide to families. So thank you for giving us this time to share that.
Of course, and thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk to me. Now, as we speak about this disease, can you tell us a little bit more about those symptoms that people can look out for?
Yes, a lot of it will, it's consistency and frequency. And a lot of it has to do with how these symptoms, these 10 signs, impact your daily life. So memory loss, forgetting recently learned information, problem solving, things that we normally would take for granted, difficulty, completing familiar tasks. So maybe you've made this recipe, for many years, and all of a sudden you cannot follow the steps or even the measurements. Confusion within the time and the place of where you're at, understanding visual images and spatial relationships, and new problems with words and speaking and writing even. So these are things that we do on a daily basis. And these are things that, like I said, when you see an impact to your daily life, your daily function, then certainly you want to get that looked out with your physician. Now, maybe you can identify that within yourself, and it's usually something that's noticed by family or close friends or anyone that's with you. So it's important to have that discussion if you see these symptoms going on with someone you're around.
Some great advice there. And again, I do want to take a look at this video, this file video that we have here at the live desk as I go over some statistics that we also have. Now, we do know that this disease impacts more than 55 million people across the globe. And here in the U.S. right now, more than 6 million people are currently living with the disease. Treatment has come a long way. And, I do, Priska, just want you to touch a little bit more on that and elaborate. What exactly does that mean? How does treatment look right now compared to previous years?
Well, treatment looks like this. So, before, when people would get diagnosed, it was, you're diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Here's some medication. And then you would go home and come back for a checkup, maybe 6 months to a year. This disease there isn't a cure for it. So now what happens? Early detection is paramount here, because as soon as you start seeing these issues that you're having and you can get that diagnosed, then the drugs and the treatment that we have available to us now, after so much research and approval by FDA and coverage by CMS as well as the VA, are drugs that can treat you in the early onset of this. So it can extend your cognitive ability as far as in a decline, on average about another 18 months. Now, what that does is it provides you quality of life with your family. It also provides you the extra time to plan. We should always be planning for things that happen in our life. Particular disease, there's financial things that need to be taken care of. There's care plans that need to happen. Certainly you can age at home and take care of your loved one and have home health. But in most instances, you may have to go to a memory care. And how does that look? And how do I pay for it? So early detection and having these drugs available to us now that weren't before is going to be extremely beneficial in order to have quality time and quality of life with your loved ones.
And as an association, how are you all making sure that people are aware of these treatment options?
Well, I'll tell you, I became aware of Alzheimer's when I needed it. meaning I didn't know, wasn't aware of anything up to that point. And there's so many times when I'm at the grocery store and I have a shirt on or something, and someone will stop me and say, I wish I knew you were there. My mother was diagnosed in 2016. Her name was Lily. And that's when I started on my journey of educating and becoming awareness. I personally came to the Alzheimer's Association here in Prairie Village and got all the information I have. So it's my passion to make sure that everyone out there is aware of the signs, is aware of the treatment, is aware on care plan, caregiving. And so we educate not only families, but we also educate first responders, EMS, EMT, fire department. You know, when you make a call and you go to someone's house and they have fallen, it is very difficult to be able to communicate when you're asking on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain level or where does it hurt? People that are living with this disease are unable to make that communication and answer those questions. So we do have trainings specifically for first responders. We have trained, physical therapists. There's a whole nother way of communicating and understanding the behaviors when you're trying to get someone to heal from any kind of an injury that is living with this disease. So it's education, it's empowering people, it's making sure that we advocate for the needs of our community. So the local Alzheimer's Association here in Kansas City, we support 65 counties in Kansas and Missouri. And we were very instrumental in assisting in developing the domestic care plan for Kansas, for the state of Kansas, as well as contributing to advocating for the position of a dementia care coordinator for the state of Kansas. This is extremely important because it makes sure that, we're here to support and provide resources statewide for anyone that needs them.
Well, I want to say I am sorry that this hits so close to home, but I think it is awesome that you've turned that pain and confusion into helping others and learning more for yourself and also for your relative as well. Now, people who may be in your position, how can they learn more and actually maybe step into your shoes and educate other people along the way?
Absolutely. Well, Jenny, I speak to a lot of families and I help to guide them through this, and I counsel them and make sure that they know all the resources. But the best way to do it is to call our 800 number. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's our helpline. We can support over 200 languages, and it's 1-800-272 3900. This could be a question from, I'm concerned about myself, I seem to be forgetting things, to I'm taking my father to the doctor. What kind of questions should I ask? What kind of tests? What kind of medications are there? They need assistance with family care planning, setting a plan, all the way up to what we call critical call, which would be answered by a master social worker clinician on, I called because my mother was going to sundowners, and I didn't know what that was at the time, and I didn't know how to help her. So I remember making a call at midnight, and they helped me. When you're struggling as a caregiver and you don't know how to help yourself or the person that you love or the person that you're caring for, to be able to pick up the phone at any time and get the resources and the help that you need, I can tell you is a lifesaver in many ways.
And I think you make a great point there. It not only impacts the people who are suffering by the disease, but those caregivers as well. So you're speaking for a lot of people who are currently dealing with this and a lot of people who may have to deal with it in the future. Looking ahead, it is World Alzheimer's Day. How can people observe this holiday? How does it all work out?
This holiday, this day of recognition, all about awareness. So go to our website, alz.org, and just kind of, look through there. There's tons of information that'll kind of spark your interest. And maybe there's ways that we can talk about in the website about healthy dieting, healthy heart, healthy mind. Talk about, exercising and that sort of thing, as well as what kind of activities to exercise your mental capacity and your brain and those kind of activities, all the way to getting a diagnosis and where you can go as far as research. We are a volunteer-based organization, which is wonderful because we count on our community that are embedded, whether it's a church group or any of our other underrepresented communities can become a volunteer with us. There is training involved. So be an advocate for your community. But the most important thing is to learn the 10 signs. They are on our website. And just become familiar. You may not have been touched by this disease yet within your circle of friends or within your family. And I can encourage you, don't wait until that happens. Know the signs, know the resources, know the help before that comes to play. Because I can tell you, with the way that the increase of diagnosis has been, it's good to be, prepared and aware of what's going on.
Some great advice there. Thank you so much, Priska, for joining me here at the live desk. Again, taking one last look at that file video we have here in the KCTV5 newsroom. If you would like to observe World Alzheimer's Day, wear purple today, or you can even wear, that can go from a ribbon to a bracelet, a shirt, anything you can think of to really observe the day. Or you can share your experience with the social media hashtag World Alzheimer's Day. Thank you again so much for joining me here at the live desk. As always, I am Janae Hancock, and make sure you share the news, share all of the advice. This video will live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Janae. And I just want to mention that we have our Kansas City Alzheimer's Walk October 7th at World War I Memorial. Please join us.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much, Priska.